Hey guys, this is Kelly, and I have a process video today. First of all, happy National Scrapbookers Day. Love a day that is committed just for scrapbooking, and I hope that even if you're not able to scrapbook today, that you will have some time this weekend to, be a little creative and to have some fun. This layout I am doing as part of a video hop for National Scrapbook Day that was coordinated by Hannah, and I'm going to massacre her last name. I think it's Lemieux, but I'm not quite sure. So Hannah, if I pronounced your name wrong, I am so sorry. Anyway, there's maybe like 15 or 20 people that have said that they would participate. So this is my take, and what she suggested was that we do something that went along with my favorite things, and maybe with the use of the song as well. And so I immediately thought of these daffodils, pictures that I had taken. And one of the famous lines is raindrops on roses. So I just took it as to flowers. And these daffodils actually have a story with them as well. These bulbs were dug up by my aunt, and they were on my grandmother's farm. And so I have told my husband that if we ever move, that we're digging these up and they're coming with us. So it's nice to have a little bit of her with me still. They were her favorite flower, and they have now become mine. So anyway, this layout, I'm using the Hip kit from April, and I don't normally match my paper to my photos, but when I saw the yellow heart paper by Amy Tangerine Rise and Shine and compared it with that picture on the right, it just was so pretty, and I could not use it. And I knew that I just wanted a little bit of strip of that green paper by Webster's. It is gorgeous. And this layout style is definitely a little bit different for me. I usually have multiple papers or layers or more colors, or just something different, but I am very happy with the way that this turned out. So I decided to go ahead and commit to the paper layers. I knew that that was what I'd liked and what was working, and that I just wanted to go ahead and get things down so that I could get my journaling and then see what else I needed to do with the paper. So at this point, I decided to go ahead and stick everything down, completely forgetting that I wanted to stitch that strip of green paper with my sewing machine. So you will see that I get everything down, and then I have to rip my pictures back up because I realized what I had forgotten. And sewing is one of the things that is, one of my things that I do quite often. Some people will say it's like misting, or they're ink splats, or, things like that. Well, sewing is definitely one of mine. I just love the look that it gives, and that kind of homemade texture, because believe me, my lines are not straight, but that's okay. I love it anyway. So I'm just taking my fine line applicator, and you've seen several people have it, and I really do like it, and I have found that it doesn't clog for me if I tap it down at the end just to get that last little bit of glue out. I know somebody was saying that they had some issues with it clogging even though they didn't think it was supposed to, and I think just that last little blob of glue getting down, and then when you put in that I guess the needle or whatever you want to call it into the applicator, it works great for me that way. So at this point, you can see I'm like looking through my stamps, I'm looking through things to see if there's anything else I can add, and at this point I realize hey, ding dong, you forgot to stitch. So I ran over to my sewing machine real quick to put some a couple of lines of the white stitching for the contrast, and just for that homemade feel to the layout. And I wanted to take this time to thank Hannah for putting this together. It was fun, and I really did enjoy, scrapbooking something that I knew that I was going to at one point. I'm just not sure, when, and it just gave that little added push to get this layout documented. So I'm just pulling the strings out from the front, and I take a washi tape that I know that I will not use, or I've used it a couple of times and that's it. This one had the days of the week and I can't even remember who it was by. And I just used the washi tape to just reinforce the ends because I don't want any of the stitching to come out. So at this point, I decide to go ahead and write down my journaling on a piece of paper. And I do this for a couple of reasons. First of all, if I journal straight onto the layout, I will either make a mistake, as in, spelling something wrong and catching it, or my writing is slanted, which drives me bonkers, and or I'll forget to say something that I really wanted to say. I found that if I go ahead and just write it down, that I can get my thoughts down, and then I can kind of estimate how many lines I'm going to need and where it's going to go. And that way I can see if I like how it's looking, if I need to add something else to it. So I just start off with a few lines, and I know that that's not going to be enough, but I just wanted to see how far that would get me. And I also will lightly pencil in my words. Again, another OCD thing. I want to see where it's going to fall on the line, and I want to just see how it's going to look. And if I need to, just change the way that my thought came out. That way it just gives me that little bit of freedom. And after I, pencil in, then I'll go back over with, one of the other pens and write it in. And then I let it dry, even though it dries fairly quickly. And I will take my white eraser and erase the pencil lines. So I just tested out one of the ink pens. This was a .03, and I just wanted to make sure that it had the thickness that I wanted. I don't know if you have noticed, but I have different journaling pens, and I love pens and just the way that they feel. And some of the lines, even though they both will say like they're .03, they're not. There's a little bit of difference. And so I just wanted to make sure that the one that I had chosen was something that I was going to be happy with. So there it is, my journaling, and I'm taking the eraser, and you will see in just a minute that I will wipe off the eraser on my hand. Excuse me. And what that does is that gets the eraser marks. This white eraser will pick up pencil marks, and if you look at it, it will be dark, and that is what will smudge on your paper. It's not necessarily the pencil that's smudging, it's the fact that you have pencil marks on your eraser. And so especially in the beginning when I am doing it, I try to wipe my eraser off quite frequently, and then at the end when I'm just getting the finer lines, I find that I don't need to do it so much. So at this point I am just filling in some of the lines that didn't quite get dark enough, and I'm going to add those pretty hearts from Amy Tangerine. I could have like a whole pack of those hearts and I would use every single one of them. I love them. Why would there just a couple? Oh my goodness, I want more. And then I took the edges of that green and just pulled it up for a little bit more of contrast. And I, off camera, did add some drops of mist, so you will see those in the stills at the end. So I wanted to thank everybody for watching, and thank you again, Hannah, for organizing this. I hope you have a great day. Thanks. Bye.